And then there's a torrent of thunderous applause and raucous cheers as the curtain falls. The production is a smashing success.
Thank you very much, everybody!
Kazuna stammers out words of thanks and bows again and again after reappearing for a curtain call. She stands there with her eyes slightly moist after accepting a large bouquet of flowers. Kazuna's turned back into the normal girl I'm familiar with. She's shed the majestic aura that had surrounded her while she was acting. Though I have to say, it looks like her boundless enthusiasm hasn't deserted her. When we get into the lobby, I see a lot of the audience members chatting animatedly about the production. Ever since the final curtain fell, Takako has been looking somewhat dejected.
Shugo-sama, so the actress that played Juliet is your friend?
Oh, you mean Kazuna? A friend and a client. She hired me for a job.
Oh, I see.
Takako seems really spaced out for some reason. She comes from a well-off family. Normally, she's got a few screws loose. You wouldn't be able to tell she's an actress at all. Honestly, I was amazed to see how much she transformed when she was up on stage.
She comes from a well-off family?
Yeah, I guess you two are similar in that respect. Her family's pretty strict as well, so they were strongly opposed to her pursuing a career in theater.
How'd she get permission then?
I don't think that she actually did. She kinda ran away from home.
Is theater really that appealing? I mean, is it really worth rejecting your parents over?
Well, I'm not her, so I wouldn't know. But the thing is, standing on that stage has been Kazuna's dream ever since she was little. She won't give up on it that easily.
I see.
Takako suddenly falls silent. Are you okay, Takako-chan? She's completely zoned out. I wave my hand around in front of her face.
Shugo-sama!
She immediately seizes my hand. Takako-chan? What's the matter? Her seriousness is somewhat troubling.
Please hear me out, Shugo-sama. This coming spring, I'm actually...
But right at that moment...
What a pleasant surprise, Takashiro-san! So you actually came to watch our production!
A merry voice suddenly cuts off Takako in mid-sentence. Oh, Akao-san? It's Akao, who works as the group's artistic director. He pushes his way through the crowd to get over to us.
How was it, Takashiro-san? Was our production to your satisfaction?
He's flushed with excitement as the production's just finished. Yeah, it was magnificent.
Wasn't Kohzuki-san wonderful as well? Her unique presence on stage is rather awe-inspiring. She possesses the most unusual talent.
You're certainly right about that.
Not only is she cute, but charming as well. My oh my, I'm so jealous of you, Takashiro-san.
He chuckles merrily. Huh? What the heck are you talking about?
Aren't you two dating?
Oh my.
No, not really. And before I can say any more...
You've got it all wrong!
Takako suddenly cuts in.
The person he's dating is me!
Okay, that one really came out of left field. Takako-chan! She looks over at me, completely serious.
Oh.
Akao turns to her happily.
My mistake. How rude of me. What's your name, miss?
Ayasaki Takako. Shugo-sama's been taking care of me ever since I was little.
Ayasaki Takako-san, eh? Okay, got it.
Akao appears to have drawn his own conclusions about the situation.
You're such an animated, lovely young lady. Man, there's more to you than meets the eye, Takashiro-san.
I guess. With Takako's stare clinging on to me, I'm unable to deny his claim. Instead, I can only proffer a vague reply.
This means I can vie for Kazuki-san's hand without worry, right? I can't wait to try my luck tonight.
Akao then departs, saying he needs to continue making his rounds and greeting people. Takako looks up at me timidly.
I'm sorry, Shugo-sama.
Takako-chan, why don't you start by explaining what that was all about? Her explanation ends up being quite simple. Her father has arranged a marriage partner for her. The man's an heir to another wealthy family, but the bride and groom haven't even met before. Basically, it's a political marriage. They plan to hold the marriage ceremony next spring after Takako graduates.
I can't bear to go through with something like that.
Her only ally, Old Man Konosuke, is lying on his deathbed in Izumo right now. Her father is putting all his effort into finding happiness for his daughter. However, there's probably something else more important than that riding at the forefront of his thoughts. Takako has lived her whole life obeying her father's every word. She's never once thought about rebelling. But she just can't stomach this. She's unable to find it in herself to obey. I first met Takako when she was just a little girl. It was the first time someone had treated her as a normal person and ignored the fact that she bore the Ayasaki name.
Shugo-sama. Please, help me.
And my reply is, I'm sorry, Takako-chan. Takako's expression crumbles, her eyes begin to fill with tears. I can't help you, Takako-chan.
But...
I've got my hands full just taking care of myself. I can't do it, Takako-chan. I can see why she's doing this. Despairing at being thrust into a relationship built on politics instead of love, she's somehow come to idealize me, a man with whom she only talked a little bit during her childhood. Takako is probably just searching for a way out. I wouldn't mind giving my life to Takako if it meant I could save her. The thought, hypocritical as it is, flashes through my mind for a split second. But I'm really sorry, Takako-chan. At that moment, the face of a different girl surfaces inside my mind.
No, I don't want you to apologize.
Takako flashes me a courageous smile.
Shugo-sama, I'm sorry for putting you through this.
A single tear trickles down Takako's smiling face. I return to the Yukishiro after parting ways with Takako.
Shugo-sama?
I run into Hatsune on the way back to my room.
You had a visitor. She was waiting for you up until a short while ago.
Ah, sorry about that. Guess I stood her up. Who was it, Toji?
No, it's the first time I've seen her come here. Her name was Shigusa-sama. She had long hair, very pretty.
No doubt about it. It was definitely Shigusa Tokiko. Hatsune, did she say anything?
Oh, yes. She told me to give this to you.
Hatsune's clutching a small envelope in her hand. Right, thanks. I snatch the letter out of Hatsune's grasp and whirl around. It might be an invitation from Senri. I need to hurry back to my room and check it out.
Shugo-sama!
However, I stop in my tracks as Hatsune shouts my name loudly from behind.
Who exactly was that woman?
Telling her the whole story would take too long. Besides, I don't want Hatsune getting involved in this. Just a friend of mine.
Shugo-sama.
Hatsune's face remains a mask of anxiety after my response. I slide the door shut after returning to my room. So they finally made their move. Inside the envelope is a scrap of paper with a date, time, and some details.
You have received permission to meet Her Holiness. Please come to us tomorrow at noon.
It's signed Shigasa Tokiko. Wow, that came sooner than I expected. Is this mere coincidence, or are they planning something? There's no way for me to know. The Holy Prophet. Well, I wonder what kind of fraud she'll turn out to be.
Nighttime at Kaio Academy. There's not a soul in sight. Aside from the guards, there's nobody else left on campus. It's been a while since the sun has set.
Well then.
Despite the emptiness, Takashiro Nana peers carefully around at her surroundings while she approaches the chapel attached to the school. Seeing as how this was where the bizarre murders took place, nobody from the academy even dares venture near here now. That, and it's been blocked off by police investigators. All they do is stare at the building from a distance with the look of horror in their eyes. No surprise, considering what happened. After all, those gory murders occurred underneath the place where they pray every single day. However, those very murders bring joy to Takashiro Nana's heart. Nana crouches down by the chapel's iron door, humming. It's so cold that it feels like her fingertips are going to freeze off. The entrance has been securely locked by the Ueno police. Nana pulls out a homemade lockpick from her uniform pocket and grins in satisfaction. Who the hell do they take her for? Nana's picked hundreds of locks just like this. With an unpleasant rasping sound, the rusted door swings open. It's pitch black inside. She can't see a thing. However, this place is familiar to Nana, a student of Kaio Academy. She walks straight ahead in the darkness, heading for the altar in the rear. After checking that there's nobody else around, she lights the candles. A faint glow illuminates the altar. Since the person tending to the chapel is now gone, the entire place is filled with dust. Nana senses an unpleasant, rotten odor emanating out from the cellar. Ever since the news of the murders broke, the interior of the chapel has been filled to the brim with policemen. However, today they finally withdrew. Nana can now search the place to her heart's content. It's the perfect opportunity to confirm what was bothering her when she was eavesdropping on her brother's conversation with Inspector Arashima.
Let's get down to business.
After muttering that softly, Nana looks around the interior of the building. Where to begin? It looks as though the police have already practically torn apart the cellar, where those tragic murders took place. Even if there are some clues left down there, they've already been destroyed by their heavy-handed methodology. It hardly needs to be said, but the fruits of their labor have probably all been carted away already. Just like in Poe's The Purloined Letter, the police are unparalleled when it comes to work that requires nothing but being simple and straightforward. but those aren't the kind of clues Nana's searching for. She'll search the chapel first, then if she can't find anything, it'll be time to head down to the cellar. Nana walks off after making a simple plan. To her surprise, she finds something much sooner than she had expected.
Oh.
Deep behind the dusty altar, beside the pedestal where a small statue of the Virgin Mary stands, she finds a spot that piques her curiosity. There's a portion where the layer of dust piled up is slightly thinner. It's such a minute difference that it probably would have escaped her notice if she had come in the daytime when it's brighter.
Well, well, what do we have here?
Nana purses her lips, then reaches for the pedestal. She immediately encounters a small protuberance with her fingertips. She gives it a tug. The side of the pedestal swings open with a soft click. It looks like there's a small drawer built into it. She sticks her fingers into the drawer and searches around carefully. And she finds a metal pendant with a strange engraving on it. Realization dawns upon Nana. There wasn't anything hidden to begin with. Nana smiles happily as she looks at the metal engraving. That woman put it here because this is where she would come to worship every single day. And that being the case,
It looks like things are going to get more interesting now.
We got some nice clams in this morning, so I tried making some Fukugawa meshi. There's a lot, so feel free to ask for seconds, okay?
Madam, you really didn't have to. I feel really bad having the madam prepare meals like this for me every single day.
Oh, come now, sir. Don't be unreasonable. Your bandages still haven't been removed yet.
I can at least take care of the eating part on my own. I do that when I'm out, anyhow.
That really puts me on the spot, though.
What makes you say that?
Well, it's kind of become a habit lately. I just can't get into my daily rhythm unless I see your face first thing in the morning.
She lets out a hearty chuckle.
But you don't have to worry about that, sir.
Madam, even though she's joking around, her words are proof that she really does care about me.
Yes, what is it?
I might as well just give in obediently to her kindness. Man, this Fukugawa meshi is top-notch. Could I get another bowl, please?
That's what I was waiting to hear. Wait just one moment. I'll be right back with seconds.
After breakfast. Normally, the madam would have returned back to work at this point, but for some reason, today she stands there with a serious expression on her face. Madam?
By the way, I'd like to talk to you about that task you requested of me the other day.
She leans in, her voice hushed. Right. The facts regarding the accident 10 years ago that Kohzuki Keiichiro is hiding from me. Did you find out anything?
Well, I don't know if you could even call it that, but the man I used told me that all the people in the area are pretty tight-lipped about the entire affair.
I'm surprised by the madam's vague response. Which means that...
Have you heard the phrase, descended from demons, before?
Takashiro-sama, we've been awaiting your presence.
Right. The appointed hour has finally arrived. I'm shown into a room in the main temple by Shigusa Tokiko, who's dressed in a shrine maiden outfit. She makes me sit down in the center and wait. The smell of incense is suffocating. The room itself is about 20 tatami mats in size. I'm so nervous that I can hardly draw breath. I can feel my skin crawl. This cold sure gives me the creeps. Shikasa Tokiko sits right next to me, silent and immobile. The entire inner sanctuary is eerily silent. Unable to take the silence any longer, I start to ask her a question. When will Her Holiness arrive?
Please refrain from speaking. Her Holiness sees all.
She stares straight ahead. Following her line of sight, I see a thick bamboo screen with the seal of Senri carved on it. I focus my vision on it and... Huh? There's the faint outline of a person beyond that bamboo screen. Wait, so that's... I can feel a powerful presence behind it. When the hell did she appear? Or maybe I didn't even notice? And suddenly...
Takashiro Shugo-sama.
A voice rings out from beyond the bamboo screen. That thin, hoarse voice leaves me with a sense of wonderment. Right, the Holy Prophet's a woman. Yes? I prostrate myself on the ground and wait for her next words.
You. What do you seek? What is it that has caused you to knock upon the doors of our faith?
Well, I learned of the doctrines Her Holiness preached, and I was really impressed. It's not like she actually knows why I'm here, so I just make up something that sounds appropriate. But then...
You lie.
She cuts me off mid-sentence. Huh?
I sense not the radiant light of a believer within your soul. What did you come to us for?
Wait, you've got it all wrong. My words trail off. The light of a believer? I don't believe any of the bullshit she's saying, but I can't change the fact that she's suspicious about who I really am. I can feel her powerful presence wavering. I need to be careful about what I say next. I guess I can't keep piling on these silly lies. I expected no less from Her Holiness. Your keen insight is most impressive. Actually, you know those prophecies that are going around? I'd like to borrow that power of yours, if possible.
Takashiro-sama!
Tokiko's piercing shout cuts me off.
This place is solely for those who seek the faith. Do not confuse her for some strange enchantress because of those rumors. Leave us now, if you please.
Shikasa Tokiko gets up and stands right in front of me, glaring down at me with those bottomless, dark eyes of hers. What, no fortune for me? That's not what I was led to believe. I try to bluff my way out despite the intense pressure coming from her gaze. So, the rumors about her supernatural powers were just a bunch of nonsense, eh? However, Tokiko is unruffled by my words.
Please leave at once, Takashiro-sama.
Her cool facade doesn't change. After glaring at each other for a few moments, nothing changes. Just when I'm about to give up and rise to leave...
Please wait. I don't mind, Takashiro Shugo-sama. Please state your desires.
That thin, hoarse voice issues out once again from behind the screen.
Your Holiness!
From the way she spins around in panic, I can see that Tokiko wasn't expecting that either. But at any rate, this is a great chance. The truth is, I'm searching for somebody.
Yes.
Her voice is thin, but at the same time, it's gentle and soothing. The image I have of her as some kind of half-crazed priestess gradually begins to fade. A girl by the name of Hyo. I pull out Yura's photograph from my pocket. There's a chance she may be one of my old friends, Kohzuki Yura. And
Kohzuki Yura.
the voice from behind the bamboo screen quavers. There's a rumor that the woman named Hyo was a regular of this faith.
There is no need for you to respond, Your Holiness. Prophecies are reserved for those of the faith.
I see how it is. That's how you extort exorbitant amounts of cash from your followers, eh? Come to think of it, your faith even used those bizarre serial murders that took place in Ueno as a means to publicize itself. My provocation produces an unexpected response.
Bizarre serial murders in Ueno? What are you talking about?
I hear her voice tremble. Oh, you didn't know, Your Holiness? It's the talk of the town around Ueno, the fact that you prophesize those bizarre murders. In fact, you're pretty good at what you do.
Takashiro-sama.
Tokiko whips around to address me, her voice suddenly cold.
Say any more, and you'll invoke the wrath of Senri.
Whoa, scary. I hear surreptitious footsteps echo behind my back. I look around to find men dressed like priests surrounding the entrance, their faces expressionless masks. Going to resort to brute force to get me out of here? I explicitly state the obvious, hoping to avoid any sort of misunderstanding.
We're not going to use violence. However, I would like for you to vacate the premises as quickly as possible.
She nods from behind me. Damn it. My wounds still haven't healed yet either. However...
She's dead.
Huh? The very air itself appears to freeze for a split second. Everyone inside stops moving.
I can see her body rotting in the ground. Give up. The girl you were searching for is no longer of this world.
Your Holiness!
Shigasa Tokiko interjects frantically.
Tokiko, there's no need for violence. Takashiro-sama should be satisfied with this.
Let's Start Project.